Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream. Today, Ron Nicoletti along with Brian Nato, and it is exactly 12 p.m. And what does that mean? That Brian Nato will be on the morning show, so he's right here. He's going to join us. Fast main track, firm turf course. That's right. We're back on the turf. Came back yesterday for turf races, which is great. And, of course, we have the all-weather Tapeta. And Samantha's on assignment. She'll be back with us tomorrow. And really nice day, Brian. And let's see what happens. How it unfolds. It was very exciting yesterday.
Yesterday, the 3-year-olds in the spotlight to end the card in the carryback, and boy, did they deliver. Real macho getting it done over catalytic. And then, of course, today, what a renewal of the smile. Very historic race here at Gulfstream Park, summertime kind of race. And the 3 horses that are lining up today are all, worthy of graded stakes winners.
Yeah, I mean, they've got some real good, classy horses in there. Impossible race to handicap and be that sure, but I'll show you my rainbow in a little while. I went 4 deep in that particular race because it's great. Let's put it that way. But we got action that starts right here, and the first race is going to be a 5.5 furlong sprint on the Tapeta Maiden Claimers. 3-year-olds end upward. What a great way to start the day with a full field of 11. I'm going to see how Brian figured this out with his early pick 5 ticket.
Early pick 5 should be a very, very large pool. I went 3 deep in this race, 3 deep in race 2 as well. It's a good 2-year-old race. The top pick is the 7. Win in, you're in race 3. The 7 also, again, at a short price, and that's going to be American Speed. Race 4. I lost my long shot again today, Ron. I lost my long shot again today. So now I've got the 2 favorites who I, quite frankly and honestly, don't really trust at all. She Fled the Scene in Crystal Coast, and then in race number 5, I have the 6 on top, Mi Amore, and that is a $27 early pick 5 ticket.
I like the way you said that. Mi
not bad,
Amore.
right?
I said it a lot recently,
Have you?
Oh, yeah. I say it all the time. I just walk around saying Mi Amore.
I got you.
You got me,
very
right?
festive.
Yeah. So we'll see how that plays out. And Mi Amore to everyone out there. So, first race, how did you start it in here? I went with the 3 Moral Agency. I don't know how you... Look at this. Oh, my God. We got the exact super. We're in big trouble.
Well, I mean, this horse couldn't get it done at 90 cents on the dollar last time. But the thing is, that race might be good enough to win this race anyway, because you don't know. Neither of us put Alpha Blue anywhere.
And I didn't. I looked at it. Was and I said I couldn't get this horse. Of
not
course,
at all. So
I got like you did the 3.
Yeah. So I think it's Moral Legacy, and then Go Woke, Go Broke showed a lot of speed last time, and could be a value, I would think.
Yeah, I mean it's exactly the way I saw it. And you can see our selections up there. 3, 9, 6, and 10, and you use 3, 6, 9, and I think that's the logical way to go.
Yeah, and let's talk about the 1 because it's pretty obvious now. This horse comes back off a 14-month layoff at the bottom, and at 1-2 doesn't beat anybody home. They're going to bet this horse again. It's Safi, it's Edgard, you get all that. Just not the type of horse. You don't see him anywhere in our top 4.
Yeah, bullet work, and I think a lot of people right now are keying off the fantastic day those connections had, so we'll see how it plays out, and if the board stays like this one, that's the beauty of starting the early pick 5 in race 1. You got a chance to look at the board and maybe adjust your tickets. We'll flip the page and go to race number 2. We'll be on the fast main track at 5.5 furlongs, and these are for state-bred filly 2-year-olds, and no scratches in this race. The field is 7, and Brian, you put an early pick 4 ticket together?
We can show it real quick. It's just a run back of the early pick 5. Samantha's back on the TT pick 3 duty here. $9 ticket, the single again, and this is the type of sequence. Maybe you could punch it a time or two, because I think it's going to be pretty tight. It looks pretty formful to me.
I went with the number 2 in here, Miss Mary Nell. I don't know if that's where you landed. I know you got a replay you want to show on this horse.
Yeah, I didn't use this horse. This is a homebred for Palm Beach Racing. 11-1 on debut for Carlos David. You never really see that. Now, she runs on a little bit. She's going to be beaten 4.5 lengths here today, in this spot, excuse me. Runs on a little bit, but she had a very, very nice scenario to run into, and really never made much of a dent, Ron. The winner was pretty good this day, and that's Wiggle and Wine. She was a little further down for me. I just didn't like that she was 11-1 for a barn that always gets bet.
That was against state-bred competition. You know what I mean? This is open. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, this is state-bred. That was open, vice versa. But what I found interesting, you have the 7 on top and the 2 and the 7. worked in
Clearly.
tandem. They worked in tandem that day. So I look at the upside,
Yep.
you know, with this horse, and I just think with the connections, as you mentioned, this horse is going to move forward. Would you not? I also had to have the 7 on the ticket for reasons you're going to mention now, and that's Win and You're In, who ran third that day.
You make a good point, though. Miss Marinelle, that race we showed you was an open maiden race, and now she gets to play with Florida breds. I like the post now with Win and You're In. They bet her to 5-2 on debut, so there's a lot to like about her. But Ronnie's point is very valid. They worked together, and it was a very zippy 3-furlong bullet.
I know the number 5, Be a Queen of Connections, you really like. You have a stat you want to show on Jen Antonucci?
We could take a look at this barn that's just going very, very good right now. But this is not great. 2 for 20, 10%. It's not good. It's not bad. It's kind of sort of in the middle. They didn't really bet Be a Queen on debut. They paid $75,000 for a daughter of Kozan in March, and they didn't really bet her in a 6-horse field. For the way Jenna's going and the way they bet her horses, for this horse to be 5-1 in that spot, kind of a little DOB, a little dead on the board for me. I did think after the slow start, this horse did show a little interest in the stretch.
Yeah, we'll see how that runs.
Yeah.
I, for all the reasons you mentioned, that bad stat and everything, I sort of backed off this horse in the second start. But to me, it looks like 7-2-2-7. You want to live with the 7-5. But another race that, I love here because it's sort of a little bit of a head scratcher. You got to figure it out. We're going to the turf, which always makes me smile in race number 3. A mile in the 16th. These are claimers for 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races. And as Brian mentioned at the top, Samantha is back with a tropical turf pick 3. So let's look at her ticket right now.
Okay, so we took a few weeks off the turf and this bet went away. Well, it's back now, and this is a $3 minimum bet with a 15% takeout, and that's just phenomenal for the player. And if you're familiar with this bet, it routinely pays several times the parlay. I like her pick in the finale. That is Ocala Rocket. I think she's used this horse in the past. We're off the claim and a freshening for Victor Barboza Jr. and the G with the circle. First time gelding as well.
Yeah, so there you go. Very affordable, $24. As Brian mentioned, a $3 ticket. And this third race on the grass, as we've been mentioning. And Brian, we both started it off with the number 7 American Speed for Jerry O'Dwyer off that good performance.
Well, this is a big drop for this horse. We'll draw a line through the Tapeta race last time. You look at the turf races, just much, much better fields. He lays over this group on class, and they had him in for 35, 2 back, and he ran. That race is too much for these, Ron.
Yeah, I felt the same way. When I said I'm certainly keen off that race there, 2 back, just not really, and drop it to 16, and then you have the 4. You can make a good case for the 4 in here. At this level, at current form, certainly puts this one in the crowd. I think you got a video that you want to show?
We got a video to show of a group here. This is the Doorman, Uncaptured Boy, and Sigan Fast Boy. This is a Tapeta race on June 8th, and Sigan Fast Boy is going to run second. The Doorman's going to run third. It's kind of significant, though, because all these horses have turf form as well. Now they're getting back to that surface. This is a pretty good effort from Sigram. He closed from Nowheresville here to actually run to get up here in the shadow of the wire. And, solid enough to be second in that spot. We'll see what we get today on the turf. But all 3 of them have run well on the turf in the past. I just feel like you've got it in the same as I do, Ron.
Yeah.
They're all kind of looking up at the favorite.
Yeah, I think so. And the 4 as current form, you might want to look at. And, of course, the number 6, you just showed, the Doorman maybe grabs his share. So a real nice turf race to start the day. We'll go to race number 4, and this one is a mile and the 16th on the Tapeta. These are claimers. They're fillies, 3-year-olds, fillies and mares, 4 and up. Couple of scratches in here with the number 2 Streaking Gray and the number 7 Veloissima has been declared out of the race. And Brian and I look like we copied each other's selections today. We both have the number 8. She fled the scene right on top of our ticket.
Yeah, I scratch into her. I had the 2 Streaking Gray on top as my long shot. That's out the window now. She fled the scene, just beat the 9 Crystal Coast by about 6 lengths last time. I print 8 deep in my past performances, Ronnie. I don't see a win. So this is a scratch in. She's 0 for 11 on the Tapeta, 5 for 53 with 25 in the money finishes. Boy, she doesn't want to win a race. The 2 morning line favorites, and they're going to be, I would assume they're going to be heavy favorites in this race, Ron. They've lost 17 starts in a row.
17 starts in a row. I like the jockey changing the number 8 back to Embassy El Jaramillo. We'll see how that plays out this afternoon. I split those horses with the horse you have in third, and I thought maybe Smart Spending might be the one in there. Just, comes back, runs that okay third off the bench. Victor Barboza Jr., I think maybe this is going to be this horse's top. You're getting an excellent rider in Lionel Reyes. The 8 doesn't scare me. The 9 doesn't scare me. Maybe it's the one that wins the race.
It's possible. You get Victor. He's going good, and this horse has run well in the past. To me, Ron, this horse looks a little off form, and that's why I put him a little further down.
Well, we'll see how that fourth race plays out. What we're going to do right now is take a little break, and when we come back, we'll have my Rainbow Six ticket this afternoon.
And they're off.
Win big with new DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Ron and Brian. I got a little confused there. Ron and Brian. And Fastmate Track Firm Turf, of course, if you're just joining us in the Rainbow Six, is going to start right today in race number 5 with this 10-race card. Let's take a look at my ticket. I went back to Old Reliable today, 43 and 20. Just too deep for me in this race we'll talk about. Race number 6, my top pick is Post Facto, but I used the 6. I used the 8. Race number 7, I used the 4 as my top pick in there, Card Drawn Settlement. Thought it was going to be my long shot today, but second choice on the board. We'll see how that plays out. I love the way that the number 7 Urban Legend ran last time out. Going to try the turf. We've got a stat we'll show you. 9th race, that's the Smile Sprint. And as I said, I use 4 in there. And I can make a case for all 4. And in the last race, I got the 4 on top, Mutalig. But I like also the number 10 in there, and that's O'Callaghan. And that was Samantha's single in the Tropical Turf, pick 3. So getting back to this 5th race, goats on the tree, going from turf to synthetic, synthetic to turf, I just think this horse is too fast for these, in my estimation.
Yeah, I don't want to tell you it's a 2-horse race, but it's a 2-horse race. And Goats on a Tree has been running against better fields on the Tapeta than the 6 Mi Amore, and it's Safi. It's Edgard. This is the horse to beat.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And you put the 6 on top. I can understand that Mi Amore in this one. And also, you just go back to its Tapeta record. It had those 2 big victories in a row there. And Mi Amore. So, certainly, Inel Cordero, he had a nice, didn't start many cards, but he had a nice championship meet.
Sure did. And started a horse, Ladon Bro, in the Florida Derby. The last 2 races on the Tapeta, this horse is absolutely one for fun. Now, we got to step up today. Those are much cheaper races than Goats on a Tree has been running in, but it's right there, the 2 Tapeta races for this barn, since he's, I guess, kind of figured this daughter of Vino Rosso out a little bit, have been pretty sharp. And the turf race last time was darn good, too.
Then you have, She Takes Cash and the 4 Rotundo. You can flip-flop those 2, I think, behind, as you mentioned, a couple of horses that look sort of stand out here in the first leg of the Rainbow Six.
Yeah, the only thing I want to mention about Rotundo is we haven't talked about the speed and the pace of this race. This horse stretching out from 5.5 with an aggressive ride by Luca. She'll get loose in here. I don't know how far she wants to run, but could get brave.
Could get brave on the front end today. And as always, we always mention, make sure that you test. Just look at the early races, see how the Tapeta and the turf is playing. Always a key for when you're putting your Rainbow Six ticket together. So with that said, we will go to race number 6 this afternoon, if I could possibly turn this page. It's a mile and 70 on the Tapeta. Claimers, they're 3 or 4-year-olds and up. And we did have a couple of scratches in here of the 1 Buckshot a lot, the number 3 Eric the Salesman, and the number 9 Papa Kaz. Jockey change on the 7. Make the rider Elijah Greenidge, and the weight will be, I believe, 118.
118, yeah.
And you have Sam has a late pick 5.
She does, yeah. We'll take a look at that now as well. Updated late pick 5, which has been a very solid, healthy pool. 3 deep here, 4 deep in race 7. So that's where she's spreading. And then you can see the strong opinion in the finale on the Barboza Claimie, the 10 Ocala Rocket.
Yeah, $36, very affordable. And when you see tickets like this and you don't see that one single or just a single, those earlier races, 6, 7, 8, 9, are hard to figure out.
I got to give her a shout out. She's not here today. She'll be back tomorrow. She hit the late 5 yesterday, around $580, I think.
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah, she does a fantastic job, so she'll be back joining us again tomorrow.
Yep.
And with that said, I ended up on the number 2 post facto in here. And interesting, you went with the 3 forwardly in here. We got a replay
Yeah.
we want to show with those horses.
Forwardly, Coach Abernathy, who's I don't think is a threat in here, and Tiza Prince as well. We didn't show the start. Forwardly's going to really got whacked hard at the start and then had to go wide and was still running on. This horse is going to finish second here. This is a sneaky good, better than it looks kind of effort. Just actually got bumped again right there, lost more momentum. Probably was never beating Uncle Armando, who's got a little class to him. But this was a good effort, Ron, and we're going to talk about the 2 morning line favorites at least in a second. I don't trust either of them, and at least if nothing else, we know Forwardly's in pretty good form for Dave Fox.
Yeah, and we're going to go right to the 2 right now, which is, I think, where you have to go, and that's post facto. Claim for $40,000 at Del Mar. Comes back for Safi Joseph Jr., our leading trainer by many. You're getting Edgard's eyes in the saddle. Oh, that sounds great. Why the drop to 12.5? That is the red flag that we always mention in here.
Oh,
It's a little shaky proposition.
Little shaky proposition. I'll bring you back to the first race, to the 1 Alpha Blue. Very kind of sort of similar off the long layoff. Didn't run an inch. I'm not saying they're the same horse by any stretch of the imagination. My point is, they didn't claim this horse on August 31st at Del Mar for 40 to run next on July 6th on the Tapeta at Gulfstream Park for 12.5.
Yeah.
Be very careful here.
Sorry, Brian. The number 6 horse in here, Gooch Gobra, just off its current form, you got to give this horse, it was back in February, coming off the bench for good connection. Boy, Rohan Crichton, I think wins a race every day. It seems that way. 1 or 2, it seems that way. So this horse coming off the bench, he's good. He's 20% with this type of layoff. And that horse's last race, 1.8 miles, I know it was avoided claim and all that, but I think the rest is going to help this horse.
I don't disagree about the rest. He never wins, okay? Good barns have had this horse. The voided claim just rubs me the wrong way. He had a trip and a half last time. It was the dream trip. He's had trouble. I'll give him that. He had no excuse last time. We don't know. I will say this. Rohan takes the waiver. That's a positive. He's not in for a tag. We'll show you Real Macho winning the stakes yesterday. These are 2 favorites that I've just got to fade a little bit.
Yeah, and, this makes starting the late pick 5 a little bit of a task. And as I mentioned, Samantha going deep in those races. So we flip the page. We go to race number 7. It's 7 furlongs. These are maidens and 3-year-olds. And we have no scratches, jockey changes. And Brian's got his late pick 4 ticket. And let's see what's going on.
Take a look at it. It's just $6 here. Very affordable. This is a type we'll punch a few times here. I assume we'll have the 2 favorites in here. Race number 8 is my best bet. Reef Runner. It's his time to shine today. His turn to shine today. What a smile we have for you. The top pick is the 5, Octane. And in race 10, those are the 2 very logicals. You said Mutalik, going to be a short price, and then Ocala Rocket as well. Anybody else, to me, would be a big surprise, especially with First Shot Fire coming out.
Well, I believe, did you start it with the number 3, Whiskey
I
Park?
did, yeah.
So let's see. I think we have a workout video we want to show.
No, I started with the 4, actually.
Well, let's go to the 4
Yeah.
first, because that's where I went to at Cadron Settlement. And it's actually, we talked about this, Brian being the morning alarm wake. I thought I would maybe get a price better than second choice. And then what does he do? He picks this horse on top. Here's the story with this. Here's the story with this horse. That race back in September, what is that, 10 months ago, 9 months ago, and everything like that, was a really good race. Produced a trio of next out winners from 6 starters. Coming back for David Fawkes, getting Lasix. Then you cruise down the past performances, and you see how David does with a 180-day plus layoff. I think he's 5 for 7.
5 for 7.
5 for 7. So all the things are there. I thought maybe Whiskey Park and, for the connections and everything was going to take a lot more money, and I'd get a price on the number 4, Cadron Settlement.
I mean, listen, you could. I've been wrong before.
Right.
I got a feeling you're going to bet this horse. I'll tell you what, if they don't bet Whiskey Park, it wouldn't shock me at all if this horse is a strong favorite. 3-1 on debut. You mentioned the Super Key race. This horse ran pretty well, too. Lasix comes back. You look at the works on the page, they're not waiting here. His horse looks ready to roll to me today.
Now, Whiskey Park,
Yep.
I faded this horse. And, after yesterday,
Right.
these selections done the day before, the barn is going so good.
Yeah.
And I 100% believe that this horse is going to take a lot of money. in here.
Absolutely. If he's not, something's wrong. Run
Yeah.
away. If he's not, we can show you a drill. This is Safi. It's Edgard. It's C2 Racing. White Abaro. You think of those kind of connections. Whiskey Park on the outside. TT's Girl on the inside. The works on the page are very, very fast. They paid $220,000 for a daughter of Nyquist. 7 furlongs is not easy to debut at, but Safi always has them ready. 18%. This is just looks to me like a horse doing it well within herself here, at himself, I should say, as well. And I agree with everything you said, Ron. They're going to bet. They should be betting this horse hard today.
I like the one a little bit in here, and that's 5 Eyes on Sky Stars. Say that a couple of times, and you'll be in big trouble with Miguel Vasquez. Now, you go 2 starts back on this horse at 7 furlongs, runs a good second. They're going to put the blinkers on this afternoon, and I think that might help this horse. And I think this horse has the speed to overcome the pitfalls that are usually associated with that 7 furlong shoot. I think this horse is going to be up there. Now, maybe not for the win, but I think this horse, you got to give a second look when you're putting your pick 5 or your rainbow tickets together.
What version are we getting today?
Yeah.
That's the question, because the debut was so good behind Big City, who might win stakes races for Jose D'Angelo. The race last time was dreadful. It's as simple as that. The race last time won't get him even a piece in here. Now he's down on the rail. The blinkers go on. We'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll see what we get with that horse. So this one, another wide open affair. Maybe I go back and I add Whiskey Park to my ticket. It's going to be too late with the Rainbow Six to see if this horse takes money, but I think that's a sort of foregone conclusion that this horse is going to take some money. So after we get done with that race, what we do is we flip the page, and then we go to race number 8. See how this works out there, folks? 5 furlongs on the turf. It's an allowance optional claimer for 3-year-olds. It's a real shame that Brian has to sit next to me. I drive him crazy all the time. And what do? We go right with Reef Runner here?
Yeah, I think so. We'll show you why. Well, he's my best bet today. It looked like you had him singled as well.
Yeah.
He ran so well last time. I mean, this is Crimson Advocate, okay?
Right.
A Royal Ascot Group Stakes winner, okay?
Right.
And he got simply run off his feet.
Right,
It's as simple as that. Esperon, wild speed. He's back in here as well. And Reef Runner kind of got punched in the face a little bit. He didn't want to be that far back. He is rolling. I liked him in this spot last time. He's rolling way too late. Crimson Advocate couldn't lose with the trip she pulled, and she's mighty talented anyway. Today, there's just no Crimson Advocates in here, Ron.
I as I mentioned, and it's my single today, I'm trying to beat this horse here. I just think that the number 7 horse, Urban Legend, you trust what you see with your eyes. I was very impressed. This horse, you didn't know what you were going to get. $1.3 million, into Mischief, formerly in Bob Baffert's barn. That's probably like chump change for those guys in California buying horses. Big favorite. Doesn't run. You don't know what he's going to get. He comes here 5 furlongs on to Peter and just blows the field away. I don't know what he was facing. You can't judge, but I don't see a problem getting the grass this afternoon.
No, I don't worry about that too much. He didn't beat anything last time. It was not a good field at all. He's facing winners today. He's outside trying a new surface. But, in Jose we trust, and if he's putting him in here, he's going to feel he can handle it. I think he's clearly the main danger to the favorite.
Man, we got a stat.
Yeah.
Let's see what that looks like. I have my fingers crossed, hoping it's a good one.
Okay, that's not bad at all, because you got to remember now, there was like one of the craziest outlier stats ever. This is 17% synthetic to turf at Gulfstream. Jose D'Angelo, it's unfathomable and impossible. At one point, he was about 0 for 40 first turf.
Wow.
Jose wins 20% with everything he does. Well, he's righted? Is that the thing? Righted the ship? He's 10% now, so he's on a little bit of a run here. This horse got a lot of talent. There's no doubt about it.
You were asking me about words.
That was silly of me.
Esperon, we showed him.
Yeah, very fast.
Yeah, very fast, as you mentioned in there. I had some interest in a test factor in there, turning back this afternoon. I just thought 5 furlongs in the turf. What did he do? He went out and he won. He's going to shorten up this afternoon. Does he run with these guys?
Probably not early. I think this is going to be very sharp for him, but he's going to sit a good trip. Is he good enough?
Yeah,
That's all.
We'll see. Yeah, as he turns back in distance. And as we always like to mention here, 7.5 furlongs on the turf here is Gulfstream Park. If Daily Race Inform, if you're listening, it's a route race. It is not a sprint race, but that's for another day. We'll say it every day until maybe
You could always say that, yes.
This stake, unbelievable. And, 6 furlongs, the Smile Sprint for 3-year-olds and upwards, scratch the 4 Mish. And I mentioned to Brian yesterday, this is one of the races where you look at it for 10 minutes, you put it down, you go get a drink, you come back, you look, you try and figure it out. And, I understand completely how you can put Octane on top. You got Sibelius, you got Run Classic in here. These are classy horses. Boy. I think you have a video you want to show.
Yeah, we're going to show Sibelius first, okay? We'll show him first. Mish is in this video, too. Mish is out, though. Safi took him out. Sibelius, a former Grade 1, Group 1 winner, I should say, over there in Dubai in the Golden Shaheen. This is the Tampa race, the Pelican. He's got Jerry O'Dwyer's done such a good job with this horse. He's got a real will to win, Ron. You're going to see him gut this out by a neck here.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of my favorite horses. Sure. We love Jerry O'Dwyer, and he did a great job, as you mentioned, winning that race in Dubai, which was very special. And you know what? You could make an absolute case that this one should be on top of your ticket.
Yeah, I couldn't really separate these 3 horses. Let's show you your horse now, Run Classic. Right. When he won the Gulfstream Park Sprint off of May to February, watch how he does it. I said to myself, they're never going to beat this horse again if he does it like this. Now, they took him to Dubai. He didn't run in the Golden Shaheen either. He beat Sibelius, but neither of them did any running. This was a tour de force here. First start for Jose D'Angelo. First start off a long, long layoff. First start at Gulfstream Park. Look at him roll. The question is now for both Sibelius and Run Classic, we got the Dubai layoff, the trip across the world there. How are we going to run today with much bigger spots down the road, too?
Yeah, much bigger spots. And one thing about Jose D'Angelo, he's not afraid to send these horses and run. You just read down, the Commonwealth, the Mine Shaft, Louisiana, just goes anywhere, runs with these horses. It just, if he runs back to that, very simple, I put him on top. Now let's get to Octane, who has just been so impressive lately.
He really has. He's a Grade 3 winner over at Oaklawn. You can question the 6 furlongs. He's only done it once. He did win against, much, much lesser than today. I got to be honest with you, Ron. I used all 3 horses. This did not take me a long time to pick Octane because he's the horse in form. His race last time in the big drama at 7 furlongs was a sight to behold. He just laughed at the field. I think today, on July 6th, he's the horse to beat. If these horses all had a run and a fair go of it, maybe he's not. I think he catches these other 2 guys at the right time.
Yeah, because they're coming back from layoffs. Whatever. Yeah, I understand completely. Major reason I had added to my Rainbow Six ticket. You can see the 4. Anything else, Brian, before we flip the page and go to the last?
Well, I just want to say Safi scratched Mish, but he still got Swervin. And Swervin, how good is a Smile? Swervin's 10-1 on the morning line. That's how good this race is.
And, he's going to go. He's got to go from that inside post position. Good. So, here's the thing. Before the scratch of the number 4 Mish, Edgar Zayas was always on Swervin. Right. And, boy, what a team they've been over the last couple of days, the last couple of years, but especially yesterday. So, maybe you play a little bit of musical jockeys here, or maybe they knew Mish was going to scratch all the time. You got to sort of read that stuff into it.
Swervin ran well last time. Swervin has good races in him. This is a tough group of 3 he's facing today.
Let's go to the final, and a great way to end it with a 1-mile turf event. These are maiden claimers, 3-year-olds and upward. Scratch the 3, Intolerable, and the number 8, First Shot Fired. The jockey on the number 5, Cajun's Choice, is Lionel Reyes. And I'm going to let you take it over with the number 10 because Samantha Singleton, I think 4-10, 10-4. But let's talk about the 10 first.
You're going to have 2 huge favorites in this race. And listen, Mudalik, your pick is the horse to beat. Goodness, we've said that every time, and he never wins. He's now 0 for 11. Ocala Rocket, Victor Barboza claims him, freshens him up just a little bit. Nothing too dramatic here. First time gelding. The turf races for the Hall of Famer Bill Mott were solid enough right in the thick of the championship meet. Not the championship meet anymore. You're going to have a horse probably even money, and you're going to have a horse 8-5, and I'll just use both of them.
I just thought that this was Mudalik's chance to win. I know it's a chalk burner. I know the horse has a little bit of chandelier in it and all that good stuff. I like the fact Edwin Gonzalez, one of my favorite riders here, but they're going to try something different with Edgar, Zayas in the saddle today. Maybe this is the day. Would I not use the 10? Absolutely not. It's got to be 4-10, 10-4 to the wire for me. But I got to believe this. They might have found the spot for the number 4, Mudalik. We'll see how it plays out. I know these horses are tough to take sometimes.
Very surprised if the 4 or the 10 don't win this race.
Yeah. So that's how we see the 10 race card. And we'll see. It's a great card. The stake is just absolutely fantastic. And but we're not done yet. Of course, we got our lightning round. And first on the lightning round is we want to congratulate the jockey that won his first race here in the United States, Mr. Teshwan Hazelwood.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You're going to see him. It's a photo finish here, and he's going to outfinish actually stablemate. 2 Safis here, 1-2. Beastly speed, look home free, and he just couldn't get it done. And a nice ride here, a historic moment for him to get this right in the shadow of the wire. And I promise you, he wins.
It's hard
to believe,
you can see there at the end. He gets up there, and congratulations, of course, to him.
That's why Bob texted me.
Yes, there you go. Ooh, very good. Bob's pretty sharp. Well, let's go with the carry back, which was really good yesterday, and that was Real Macho doing a great job.
Yeah, this was a really good ride by Amicio here. He took the initiative, and he got first run on Catalytic, who simply ran out of room. Samantha had this horse on top. That was part of her big late pick 5. Rohan strikes. Boy, 8-1 on Rohan. You never get that. Catalytic's the better horse. He'll be the better horse going forward, but that didn't matter yesterday at 7 furlongs. Real Macho's got some talent too. I don't want to. I don't want to say he doesn't.
He just didn't get there. I thought he was going to get there.
Yeah,
just, one more jump, he gets there, and that was first race back. Catalytic's a nice horse.
Oh yeah,
he's going to be fun, and that distance is just like you said. That's a warm up for those horses. So we're not done yet. Of course, we got Fan Appreciation Day coming up soon, and this is what. Brian went crazy over Bush to see the bottom part of his $2 draft beers. That was it. He said, "When is this?" And he wrote it down. It's today, and he's been talking about it all along.
2 things I excel at really well: draft beer and hot dogs. So it's a great fun day, though. We really hope to see you out here. Great deals at the Breezeway. Everybody knows where that is, and it's a beautiful day here with a phenomenal day of racing. So we really hope to see you out here. A lot of loyal fans that we do have here.
And how good has National Treasure been?
Yeah.
Just like, you can get a T-shirt of his if you do what they say to do today. And it's $50 bet, right?
$50. There's your National Treasure T-shirt. You get in there at Silks and take care of that. The Preakness winner last year, of course, at our sister track Pimlico, and the Pegasus World Cup winner this year.
Yeah.
My goodness, how about his Whitney too? Met Miles.
Met Miles. He was unbelievable. Unbelievable in that race. So now we're going to tell you our best bets and start with Brian's best bet of the afternoon. And it is in race number 8, and logical one, Reef Runner. My best bet in here is that horse that I'm sort of guessing that he's going to run Incredible Urban Legend on the grass this afternoon. And Brian once again lost his long shot to the scratch board, and I have the number 4. Cadron Settlement. It's only 3-1. I was hoping they're going to bet so much on the 3 horse that I'll get 5-6 to 1. So we'll see how it plays out. That's it. We're going to turn it over to track announcer Kenny Livingood, and he will give you the scratches, updates, and all that stuff. And Brian and I will be back here for race number 1.
Number 1 starts in the first. Yeah.